The dice seems to have swung our way in the emerging market space. We've got the rand very, very strongly up against the dollar today. What's giving?
Yes, we believe that the rand did defy our expectations yesterday. The rand strengthened despite increased global risk aversion as well as the pervasive domestic industrial action. We saw risk appetite souring due to mounting fears that the US policymakers are a bit unsure about what they're likely to do with the debt ceiling and how they're likely to increase it, and also fears that the global economic recovery could suffer because of the pending austerity measures. And as a result of that, we saw safe haven assets increase. We saw the gold price soaring, but we also saw risky assets such as equity markets selling off. And we also saw that the startling performance of the rand really saw the rand performing, or rather strengthening, against most currencies. We do believe that that this resilience may be short-lived, and that importers could possibly lock into the current levels that we're seeing, as a retracement towards 681 is possibly likely in the short term.
Yeah. Have you had to change your outlook for the rest of the week given the surprise performance yesterday?
Yes, we have. We're expecting a level of about 670 to about 681 for a trading range for this week, on the back of the fact that the rand has strengthened. However, we could see some pressure coming through if the risk aversion does worsen, and we're likely to see that also coming through from the domestic industrial strike action. If those strike activity is prolonged, we could see further pressure on the rand on the back of the fact that investment is likely to slow down.
Yeah, we're beginning to see some investors bringing back money into the markets. We saw Asian markets up quite a bit strongly today, despite the fact that last night we had the US under pressure, losing on the Dow at least 0.7%. What's your reading for the rest of the day for the rand? Are we likely to see this strength being maintained throughout?
We could see the strength being maintained, but as I mentioned earlier, the industrial action, particularly with gold miners also starting to partake in the industrial action, we could see the rand come under pressure as the day progresses.
And in terms of that industrial action, we've got the gold miners today joining the coal miners. Now, of course, in the past, when gold was under pressure, the South African rand came under huge pressure. But now we do have coal also as a big export earner. So we've got gold miners and coal miners both on strike. That should surely be a big negative for the rand.
Yes, indeed, it is a big negative for the rand, but we're also seeing the troubles in the United States causing a move towards safe haven assets such as gold, and causing the gold price to increase, and, as I mentioned, risky assets selling off. So on that front, we could see the rand come under pressure as well.
Yeah. Later on today, we also have the lead indicator from the Reserve Bank coming up. What are you expecting?
We had expected a continued downward trend. We saw over the past past 3 months, we saw the leading indicator coming down slightly from the high of 135.5 that we saw in February, and that is really on the back of the fact that there has been disappointing numbers coming through from the building plans passed, as well as the 12-month change in South Africa's major trading partners. And with the conditions in the global economy not dissipating at the moment, we could see further pressure over the next coming months on that leading indicator.